Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam and this is Chef'n' More. And today we are going to be making tempura battered sardines. Yes, those little bitty fish in the tin can, sardines. Guys, and if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes the easy and simple way, subscribe so you won't miss any of my videos and tap that bell so you will always get notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay guys, we all recognize this little tin. It's the little tin can with the little bitty fish in it, sardines. And we're going to make our tempura batter and fry them up. But first, we need to open up this tin can, get them drained, and get them out of here. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is get this oil out of them. We want to get them drained, but we're going to have to be really careful because these little bitty fish in here are stuffed in this tin can and they are easy to break, and we need them to stay whole so that we can fry them. So just pour all of the liquid you can get off. It's all oil. They'll still be oily, but that's okay. We just don't want the extra oil in the can. Then take a spoon or two and gently lift them out of the can. Be very careful, guys. You need to leave them whole. And yes, they have bones inside, but the bones in sardines are edible, whether you cook them or not. When you cook them, they simply disintegrate, even with inside the fish. And they are so tender and small that they are actually edible. And to be honest, there's a lot of nutrition in there. But we've gotten two out. We're going to get this last one out. Yes, they all came out whole. Now guys, this is just going to be one serving, and if you want to have more or you're going to feed a family, it's probably pretty much one can per person. So we're just going to go ahead now and get our batter done. This is a simple batter, but it's tempura, which is that light, crispy batter. We have an egg, flour, and this is ice water, guys. It needs to be really cold. So if you need to put some ice cubes in your water to make sure it's cold, do that. And this strainer here is so that we can sift the flour. So we're just going to crack our egg open, and we're going to whisk this egg really well so that we won't have any white streaks in it. We want to blend it up really good. So we just get it all whisked up here until we don't see any more white inside of it. Okay. Now we're going to pour our cold water. This is a cup of cold water. We're going to pour it directly into the egg. Then whisk again. We want to make sure that the water is well incorporated with the egg. Okay, get this all whisked up here really good. We don't want any separation. We want it to be well blended. Okay guys, and after we get it well blended, the next thing to do is sift our flour. Now guys, don't skip any of these steps. First of all, don't skip the cold water and think you could just use room temperature. All these steps ensure that you have a light, very light and crispy batter. So you just want to sift it. You can use a sifter or just simply a strainer like I'm doing. This will ensure that there are no clumps or lumps in your flour, and it's going to add to the texture, making it just light and fluffy and crispy. Yum! We've all tasted that tempura batter on something. Shrimp, other fish, things. You can use this batter on chicken, on anything that you want a very light coating on. Okay, so we've got that all sifted. Now we've got to get this blended together. So we're just going to mix this flour with our egg and water. Yes, get it from all around the sides and make sure it's well incorporated. Then guys, after this, We need to let this batter sit for about 10 minutes so that the flour can soak up some of that water and onto the stove. Okay, our batter has sat. We have our sardines here. I have a little salt to put on them as soon as they're fried. Now these are so dainty, I'm just going to use my fingers and get right down in there. Make sure you have good, clean, washed hands, guys. Get it good and battered. You want the excess to kind of drip off a little bit. And then we have our skillet nice and hot. It only takes a few minutes to fry them. And as you can see, when I put it in there, it is frying up really well. It means our skillet is nice and hot. Be very gentle doing this because even dipping them in the batter, they can still break. And we're trying to have nice little whole fishies. Yes. Okay guys, get this last one in here, and you just want to fry them up, guys, until they're golden brown on both sides. Yes, and then we're going to put a little salt on them as soon as they come out of the pan. That way the salt will have a chance to melt. And we're just make sure they move around in the skillet, they're not sticking, get them turned over, make sure they're cooking well and golden brown. And if you have any little extra pieces of flour or batter rather, that dripped into the pan, I like to take those out because they will burn real quick. You don't want that because then you'll have that burn smell in your skillet. So if you can take those little bitty pieces out as they come off when you're putting the fish into the skillet and the batter kind of drips and you have those little pieces in there, just grab those up and get those out, guys, okay? And move the fish around so to make sure they're not sticking or anything. You want to keep them moving in the oil. Then we're just going to turn them over. And guys, we keep turning them over every few seconds or so. That way they ensure they cook good and golden brown on both sides. Yes. And these are just about ready. I'm going to flip them over again and then we'll probably be ready to get them on our cooling rack. Yes, they're going to start to get some nice color on them too. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay guys, look at that. They are golden brown on both sides. They are looking really good. Awesome! I cannot wait, and I usually eat these with a hot mustard sauce. Yes, just guys, delicious. So we're going to go ahead and get these on out of the skillet now, guys. Yes, yes, they are looking so nice and crispy, and we're pretty much done here. See guys, that didn't take long at all, and it's a nice healthy meal. Yes, delicious. I'm going to add a little salt now while they're nice and hot right out of the skillet. And this salt, whenever you fry something, you want to add a little salt in the end and it'll just melt. If you can get it on there quick enough, it'll just melt. Guys, look at that. Yummy. Nice and crispy. Yes. And guys, look at that. All done. They're sitting on some romaine lettuce with that mustard sauce. Guys, I really enjoyed you hanging out and cooking with me today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.